Welcome to another edition of Panther Sports Talk right here on WIU, a snowfield edition, and we're joined by the outdoor sports who may or may not get to play this week. We'll start off with softball coach Kim Schuette, Jimmy Schmitz from baseball will be around a little bit later, and then some WNIT highlights and maybe some interviews at the end of the show. They play tonight. We're taping on Monday, and Coach, you got home games this week, and knock on wood, may or may not get them in depending on what the temperatures do outside.
Yeah, unfortunately, early in my career, I tried really hard to fight Mother Nature, but it doesn't really work. She always has the last word. So I'm supposed to go to Butler on Wednesday and play at home this weekend, Friday, Saturday.
Now, you guys were supposed to play at home last week, and once again, you talked about Mother Nature kind of intervened. And the way you guys are playing right now, though, I know you want to be at home, but you kind of got some momentum going on the road. You might, other than not sleeping in your own bed, you might want to stay out there for a little while.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that, because the assistants on the way home on the bus were like, you know what, let's just play the road the rest of the way. And so at the end of the day, who cares? I mean, you just want to play, and any opportunity to get to play is what you want.
Now, you guys are about 5 weeks into the season. You kind of played in some tournaments to start the year. Then, like you did a couple years ago when you won the league, you went down to Florida, played some teams that really faced some similar situations to you guys in the fact that they're a lot more colder weather teams, don't have a lot of games outdoors. And you've kind of used that as a springboard to go into the conference season.
We have. We went to Florida because it worked well for us 2 years ago. And, you know, it's just a great opportunity to hopefully guarantee nice weather and also get a bunch of games in a short amount of time. I mean, we played 8 games in five or 6 days with just 1 day off right when we got there so we could go and practice. And, you know, this tournament is starting to get some better caliber teams as well. So we're going there, like you said, facing teams that are in similar situations as us instead of facing teams that have already played 30 games.
Now, coming off of that, you guys stopped in Clarksville, Tennessee on the way back and started conference play on the road, swept a series from Austin Peay, and I know it's always good, especially now with the way that we play in divisions, to be able to get off to a good start and sweep a divisional opponent. It was
good. We were feeling pretty good after we left Florida. We had a rocky start there where we needed a little kick right in about the 3rd or 4th game in Florida, and then after that little kick, the team really responded and took that momentum, that feeling good of that like bubble sensation of the anything that matters in this team is what's important. Took that into Austin Peay, and we were able to win the first one and then win the next 2 as well. Come out of there 3-0, so that was nice.
Now, this past weekend, you guys continued life on the road. You went to Eastern Kentucky, Morehead State. Due to the fact that evidently you should maybe change professions if you want to and be a weather prognosticator, you guys were able to move up 2 of your games, realizing that you may not be able to get them in on Sunday. Won both of them at Morehead State on Friday, and then split at Eastern Kentucky. And the way the new divisional format in the OVC works is you guys are going to play teams from the opposite side and a pair of double headers and essentially play 4 games on a weekend as opposed to the normal 3-game weekend series.
It is. It's kind of a lot because it's different. You know, that 4 games makes it quite a bit more. But at the same time, with our pitching this year, we have a little bit more pitching depth, and I like it. I like playing just an opponent twice, and I like playing 4 games in a weekend, and hopefully we continue doing well, and hopefully I'm saying that in a couple weeks.
Now, we talked a little bit about this. Basketball was really the first sport in the conference that had to go through the split divisional things where you play one opponent a couple times and another opponent not as many times. I guess softball, it's going to play out to where it's a little bit closer, but I guess, are you a fan of this format, or is it going to take maybe a year or 2 to find out how all the coaches feel to see if maybe this can be tweaked or if this is really the way you guys want to go?
I think it's going to take a year or 2 to figure out if we really like it. I know there were several coaches that were very against it, only because the 2 divisions, if you look at who participated in the OVC tournament last year, 5 of the 6 teams in our division were there, and only 1 team from the other division. Now, with just like the weather changes, obviously teams change and teams get better. EKU, I think, was getting better last year and is very strong this year. So EKU and Jack State in that other division. And then we're still trying to figure out in our division, you know, UTM and SIU are playing well right now as well.
Now, you talked a little bit about the depth in pitching. You guys have added to where you can really run 3 pitchers out there on a weekend. You don't necessarily do that, but you have that ability. I guess tell people a little bit, since they haven't seen you play at home, some of the new faces to maybe watch when they finally do get to see you out at Williams Field.
Sure. Well, Stephanie Madej has been all-conference the last 2 years. She's the leader on the mound, so she's definitely one of the starters. But Hannah Menega was her counterpart last year, who helped her, but has really stepped up this year and done some amazing things on the mound for us. She makes the ball move and kind of has the upspin like Amber May used to. Other faces that are new names that kind of pop out, Hannah Cola is doing an outstanding job in the 3-hole for us, knock on wood, as long as she keeps going, and Brooke Owens has been in that 4-hole. Those are 2 names that are a little different than last year. And then we have the repeated names like the Westover, Willert, the Brown, Odell, Hutchinson remaining.
And Coach, you talked about that. Not really a lot of seniors on this team either, really a junior-laden team.
Right. Our junior class is huge. Our junior class won it as freshmen, got second as sophomores, and kind of have something to prove as juniors. And then Mo Brown is kind of our leader as a senior, and hopefully we can spark her on the bases as that leadoff spot a little bit more. Well,
Coach, well, best of luck this weekend. Hopefully you get those games in here at home. If they do, they'll be, because of Easter weekend, they'll play 2 on Friday and 1 on Saturday. I think 4 I'm sorry, I had it backwards actually. 4 o'clock on Friday, 1 game, a doubleheader on Saturday at noon out here at Williams Field. Hopefully the sun's going to come out, all the snow will be gone, so the Easter Bunny can find your kid's house and deliver lots of little presents. We'll be right back with This Week in EIU Athletics.
Panther fans, here's what's going on in Panther athletics. Women's basketball wraps up the 2012-13 season with 2 games in the WNIT. They captured their first postseason win in program history, winning 60-58 at Missouri, and then fell in the second round of the WNIT, 62-54 at Illinois. The Panthers finished the season at 20-12. Baseball is now 6-15 on the season and 0-5 in the OVC. A win at Coaches Stadium against Southern Illinois 11-7, and they won 2 out of 3 games at Illinois State. Softball improves to 6-1 in the OVC and 16-9 overall, winning 3 out of 4 on the road, 2 games at Morehead State and 1 at Eastern Kentucky. Men's tennis wins 2 out of 3 matches this past week. They're now 1-1 in the OVC. They won 5-2 at Chicago State and won 4-3 over Murray State at Darling Courts. Women's tennis went 1-1 in matches at Darling Courts this past week. They won 4-2 over Austin Peay. They're now 2-1 in the OVC and 7-3 overall. And women's golf had their meet at Carbondale, Illinois. The SIU Saluki Spring Invite was canceled due to weather. Now here's what to watch for this week. On Thursday, baseball begins a 3-game series at OVC rival Jacksonville State. On Friday, track begins a 2-day run at the SIU Spring Invite. Men's and women's tennis are in Nashville, Tennessee to take on Belmont. Panther softball begins a 3-game series against Murray State over at Williams Field. And Panther baseball with their rubber game of their 3-game series at Jacksonville State. On Saturday, track continues competition at the SIU Spring Invite. Men's and women's tennis are in Nashville, Tennessee for a second straight day as they take on OVC rival Tennessee State. Softball with a doubleheader at Williams Field against Murray State. And baseball wraps up their 3-game series at Jacksonville State. On Sunday, men's golf is at the Arkansas State Invite. On Tuesday, men's golf with their second day of competition at the Arkansas State Invite. And baseball is at Coaches Stadium to take on Illinois State at 3 o'clock. And next Wednesday, women's tennis is at Darling Courts to take on Chicago State. For Panther Sports Talk, I'm Ramin Karbasioun.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. We're now joined by EIU baseball coach Jimmy Schmitz. And Coach, we talk about this supposed to be a springtime issue. I've seen people on Facebook all day not real happy with the groundhog and his prediction. I'm sure baseball and softball coaches are probably right there thinking that you're going to have an early spring, and you look outside today and it's got about 8 or 9 inches of snow, that you're not going to play baseball in here at home.
Yeah, it's real disappointing. I mean, obviously, you know, we've won 3 out of 4. We got things rolling a little bit in the right way. Spring break, we were home just in the cold taking care of our field. So we want to get in a rhythm. There's nothing we can do about it. We'll be in the field house again today, but it's really hard on the hitters just trying to get on the field and hit and see how they evaluate their swings. But, you know, we went to Illinois State, swung the bats well after being inside all last week, so maybe it's overrated.
Well, I was going to actually ask you about that. It's one of the things I know coaches don't like to look at those types of things and say this is why this didn't happen or that happened. But when you're a cold weather team and you don't get outside, I don't think people that don't play baseball, at least competitively, realize how big of a difference it really is to see a ball outside off a batter or off a pitcher, as opposed to in the field house here, you know you're going to get 3 good true hops, and you're going to make the play, you're going to make the throw to first, or you get used to hitting in this tunnel in a cage. And when you go outside, it really takes the northern teams, it seems like in baseball, a while to adjust to that and get used to playing outside.
You know, it is hard, and you know, we've got outside in the past. This winter's has just been brutal on our guys, because it does take one bad bounce or one error, you know, on our defense, which we thought would be really strong this year, to put pressure on the pitching staff, and that's really what was happening early. The biggest key is you really don't know how the team's going to react to not being inside or outside, and like I said earlier, swings are evaluated day in and day out based on where the ball goes, and if you don't see where it goes, then you honestly don't have an evaluation of if your swing is good or not. So like I said, we've kind of dealt with it over the years. This has been really hard on the guys. We have a number of veterans back, but our big hitters that we're really counting on that really got hot this past weekend have really struggled because they really haven't been outside and driving the ball.
Now, you talked about the success you guys have had in the last couple games. You won 3 out of your 4. You won them against in-state teams, so I'm sure from a schedule standpoint, you're probably saying, I need to play in-state teams more often. But you beat Southern, and you talked about the bat starting to come to life. They did here in that home game. You guys put 11 runs up, and then you go and you kind of use some of that momentum and won 2 of the first 3 there at Illinois State.
Yeah, and really, I'll give a lot of credit to Coach Wogelmott. Offensively, it's a little technical, some of the things that we've done, and we've decided to just kind of strip all of that and make it real simple for the hitters. And Ben's been working with them this week. We say just get a ball up in the zone, not dealing with counts, and it's a little technical, but the hitters have responded really well to him. And to me, that's what it's all about, feeling confidence and really trying to make it as simple as you can. Sometimes coaches, we break it down too much for them and don't have the guys reacting, but you can just see how the guys have been swinging the bat, and Ben's done a great job with the hitters.
Now, the other big facet in baseball, of course, is pitching. You guys have a couple different things that are different there this year. First of all, you have a new pitching coach, Jason Anderson, came on board, played up at U of I, played in the big leagues, so a guy that brings a wealth of experience with him. But he comes in, and unfortunately, the injury bug has not been kind to the pitching staff that he thought he was going to have to work with.
It's, you know, I the same thing after the game on Sunday or Saturday at Illinois State, and I told my staff, I mean, just gave them a lot of credit. What Jason's done with his pitching staff is unbelievable. You know, we lose, counting the injuries, we lose our 1, 2, 3 pitchers, and we lose our 3 main guys out of the bullpen. So, you know, he's playing with some people, he's kind of learning as he goes who can really come in relief, who can't, where the matchups are, and you know, like I said, coming in December is really hard because he's never seen him in a live situation. So, you know, we've had all those excuses, but he just keeps doing a really good job with the staff, and you know, seeing the progress that they've made is really a tribute to him.
Now, you guys are coming off, you won 3 out of 4, like we just said, up here in more northern temperatures. You guys are going to head south once again, get back into conference play. You play at Jacksonville State, one of the teams that's really picked in the upper half to finish for the conference this season.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard road for us. I think they lost 2 out of 3 to P this weekend. But the biggest key for us is, you know, we can't do anything about our poor start. Hopefully we'll just continue to, the guys seemed like they went out and they played and they had a little bit of fun. If we made a mistake, if we walked the leadoff batter, there really wasn't a lot of that tension in the dugout. But it's at J-State, and we've struggled to win on the road down there. They're one of the top teams, so you know, we don't have an easy start with them and Austin P and then Belmont in 2 weeks. 3 of the teams that have been suited to win the league will be up there. So this will be a good test in terms of how well we are really playing.
Well, Coach, well, best of luck down there. I've seen you guys a couple times this year, and I give a lot of credit. You got a lot of young guys that are kind of fighting through the injuries and adversity and trying to really get better every day, and I know as a coach you appreciate that.
I do. Like I said, I couldn't have been more proud of them at Illinois State with all the things that have happened, and to go there, win 2 out of 3 says a lot about them, and hopefully will continue.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. We're going to wrap up this week's show highlighting some of the WNIT action from the women's basketball team. The big win over Missouri, the first postseason win for the program as they won by 2 points on a Takenya Nixon shot as she broke the all-time scoring record. And then the game up at Illinois on Monday night that the Panthers were unable to win. Thanks for watching Panther Sports Talk. We'll be back next week with more baseball and softball action right here on WIU.
Things from a three-point shot, top key, missed it, rebounded. Missouri and stolen by Nixon. Nixon all alone in the front court, wide open, right block layup is down between the rings to Nixon. Nixon swings the shoulders and drives, pulls up from 10, and rims it in. Takenya Nixon had 6 points, 6 away from breaking Rachel Gallagher's all-time scoring record. The Panthers lead by 2. Baseline left 15 feet away. Now Payne, top of the key. She'll shoot the 3. Is knocked down the 3. Nothing but flying for Payne. The Panthers take the 3-point lead. White lettering, the white trim. Wisk fires from 3 and knocks it down. Kelsey Wisk hits the 3. Makes at the top of the key. Center set dribble drive. In the paint, runner off the big footing. Good for Takenya Nixon. She has 8 wings. Guard of the freshman Jody. Drive, pulls up from 10 and it rings it in. Takenya Nixon now with 10 points. 5 for 6 shooting. 1 away from tying Rachel Gallagher. Cuts the Tigers lead to 1. Nixon eye left side, crosses over, gets to the paint, pulls up from 10 and got it. Takenya Nixon has set the record for most points in an EIU career with 12. She's 6 for 7 from the field. 3's average 10. Nixon crosses over, gets in the paint, runs off a defender and scores from the left block. Takenya Nixon with 14, 6 for 8. The Panthers lead us back to 1. Bobby to the defense, goes up and under, missed a shot short, made him block. Nixon grabbed the rebound, trapped with 13, comes back out and fires a jump shot and scores. And Takenya Nixon has 16 points at the 16-minute mark in the second half. The lead is 1 for the Tigers. Now she brings it back out between the rings. Ball goes high left to Kelsey Wisk. She drives, gets left block, up and under lamp, scored, and the Panthers cut the lead to 4 for Missouri, 37-41. Not about their biggest deficit of the game. She drives, gets past 2 players and scores from the right side. Takenya Nixon cuts the lead to the Tigers to 4, 39-43. She now leads all scores with 18 points. Out there on the floor, inside and scoring is Mariah King. Nice move to the basket, that turnaround flip she does so well. She now has 7 points on 3 for 9 shooting. They'll lead it back to 6 for Missouri. Back into Kenya. Throw it from behind. Nixon races into the front court all alone and lays it in. Takenya Nixon has 20 points, her second steal and score today. And they'll lead it back to 6 for the Tigers. Panthers have got it to 6 a couple times. They just can't quite get it under that. The pick fires from 3 and got it. Takenya Nixon, a huge 3 off the pick. And the Panthers have cut the Tigers lead to 3. 51-48 with 7:57 left in the game. Down by 5 points, 48-53. Makes the dump, right block, King layup, good. It's a 3-point lead for the Tigers. 9 points from Mariah King. Takenya Nixon gets the assist and a timeout by Coach McGannon. King in the paint, turns, flips it up and scores. Mariah King coming alive a little bit here. Now has 11 points. The Panthers have cut the Tigers lead to 1, 53-52. Rolls it to Nixon. Nixon wants to push. 3-on-2. Nixon in the paint, pulls up, left block, banks it in. Takenya Nixon scores points 24 and 25. And the Panthers have cut the lead to 2 for the Tigers. Side King goes down, left block. Nixon off the top, swing pick. At the top of the key, drives, goes left elbow, Mitchell, the open jumper, got it, and we're tied at 58 points. The Panthers have 6 all around, have tied this one up at 58. With 47 seconds left. Great defensive possession from EIU.
Yeah, we saw Sabina Orasova play pretty good defense on Liz Smith earlier, getting some good defense there out of Mariah King. Nice by Takenya Nixon there to kind of, like, as the ball was rolling out of bounds, kind of blocked any Mizzou players from trying to get it.
Nixon, 25 points, the all-time leader in the program history in scoring. Dribbles the ball at the hip of the backcourt. 14 to shoot, 29 seconds left in the game. Nixon in the front court, that's Coach Buchanan, throws his fingers, says let's go. Here comes Nixon off the top spring pick. Drives in the paint, up and under, jump shot, it's good from Takenya Nixon. She's got 27 and the Panthers lead by 2 with 20 seconds left. Here we go, 9.4 left. Missouri inbounding at near sideline. Ball goes to Cooler, high right side, back to the basket. On to Mitchell. She drives on Finney, backs into her in the paint. Falls to the floor, maintains the dribble. Ball is loose. Nobody has it. Nixon with a steal, and the buzzer goes off. Nobody. There's no whistle, and I believe the Panthers have won this game, and that is it. The Panthers have defeated the Missouri Tigers, their first postseason victory in program history. Panthers are 4-0 when they make over half their shots. Good size crowd on hand here at Assembly Hall, mostly orange, but certainly a fair amount of blue scattered about. The Panthers in their road blues with the white trim and the white lettering. The Fighting Illini, their home white. with the dark blue trim and the orange lettering. Mariah King will jump against Charisma Penn, all Big Ten. The tip is up and one by the Fighting Illini. It goes high left to Cindy Mitchell. A pair of dribbles from her. Now Orasova, now Wisk, now Nixon, high right wing. She drives baseline wide, pulls up from 12 and got it. The Kenya Nixon, who scored 27 in round one, already up 2, and we're not enough at 2 apiece. Between the rings to King, who bobbled it, now regains with 10 to shoot. She picks up the dribble between the rings. Bounce to Nixon. Nixon drive, runner in the paint, off balance, around the rim and good. The Kenya Nixon has 4. Now in the paint, King tries to drive. Rolls back to Nixon at 15, and she met pressure. The Kenya on that right wing, fires a 3, got it! The Kenya Nixon, 7-foot point. She is 3 for 4 from the field, and the Panthers lead 8-2, and a quick timeout from the Illini and head coach Matt Bolan. What a start here for the Panthers. Kenya drive, out the Wisk, 2 ball fakes. Baseline right pass to King, 12-footer, around the rim and out. Mitchell grabs the offensive rebound and brings it back out to Nixon. Over to Wisk, open, right wing, triple, got it! Chelsea Wisk hits the 3, and the Panthers lead by 9. Back-to-back triples, 1 from Nixon, 1 from Wisk, with 16:24 left in the first half. Cross-court pass to Wisk, open, out of the corner, left wing 3, missed it long, rebound tapped by a pair of plays. And Nixon runs it down high right side. Nixon drives, dumps off to King. Left block, left-handed layup down. Panthers back up by 9. Back to Nixon. These Illini players really know how to play D. Nixon drives. Face shot from the center. Paint is down, and the Panthers extend the lead to 4. The Kenya Nixon now has 9 points. Nixon has it high left side. Dribbles from that right hip and goes corner left to Mitchell. Mitchell dribbles out of the corner, passes high right to Trunk. She'll fire the deep 3 and get nothing about net. The first field goal for the Panthers since the 12:30 mark. Left wing 3 is missed short, and Mariah King grabs the defensive rebound. Right now, the Illini really having a hard time getting a second chance opportunity. Only 3 offensive rebounds. Right wing 3, King got it. Nothing about net from the Panthers. And it's a 24-20 lead. Mariah King hits the 3. That's her first 3-pointer made today. She's 1 for 2. I had to double check. I thought Jordan Trunk hit that at first was King. EIU now leads 24-20. Sets the dribble back to the basket. From 10 away. Out to Trunk high left side. Jordan back to Nixon high left side. With 10 to shoot. Now 9. Nixon to work on Smith. Fades away from 16 and got it. Nothing but broad with a Kenya Nixon. A smooth jumper from the Panthers point guard. And EIU is back up by 5. Wiz has it. A fresh 30 for EIU. 19 minutes remaining in the game. Wiz can play point. Goes high right to Orasova with 10 on her. Playing glove-like defense. Orasova drives. Tries to pass the King. Gets the King. In the paint through traffic, and Mariah scores. EIU lead us 5. And Nixon high left side. Going to work on Smith. Off the pick is Penn. Nixon on Penn. Down low to Orasova. Sabi, right block. Shovels. The King who scored from the left block. How about this? The Panthers lead us 7. National inbound. Orasova, King, Wisk, and Mitchell out there. The 4 seniors playing in game number 506. Deep left wing shot is missed short. Another offensive rebound. King curls from the paint and scores from the right side. 4 offensive rebounds for the Panthers in the second half. They just want it more. Drives runner right block, missed it short. Shot was altered by Penn. Rebound, a put back is good for King. She is playing like a monster in this second half. 8 points from Mariah King in the half, and the Panthers have the lead up 37-31. King has 15. And a timeout from the Fighting Illini. Mitchell trapped at the timeline. Goes to Wisk, back to Nixon. Panthers a little space now. King down low to Orasova. Spin around layup. Good from Sabi. Great ball movement from the Panthers. And they extend their lead to 8 points. 39-31. Nixon back to Mitchell. It skips right to Trunk. Baseline right pass to Orasova for 3. Got it! Sabi, Orasova. A huge deep ball. And we're tied at 44. King across the timeline, goes to Mitchell high left side. Right now, the Panthers are trying to find Nixon. They do not feel comfortable unless it's in her hands against the trap. Nixon has it, goes high right to Trunk. Open, right wing 3, off the front rim and a miss. Rebound and put back going, good for King. It's one of the Illini players, Amber Moore, hit the floor, and the Panthers cut the Illini lead to 1. As Nixon gets the play from head coach Buchanan. Chance with EIU behind us. She goes to work against the 2-1-2 trap. To Wisk from the high right side. Tries a pass down low. Pass deflected by Smith. Then back to Mitchell. Out to Wisk for 3. Got it. From well beyond the 3-point line. Chelsea Wisk nails the deep ball. And the Panthers cut the Illini lead to 4. 2 minutes left in the ball game. Cross court to Nixon. She's got an open left wing 3. It's big. To Kenya. Got it. Huge triple for the Kenya Nixon. Her first field goal of the second half. She has 17 points. And the Illini lead is 3. And that will do it for the Panthers and their season. They fought so hard on the road against the Fighting Illini. but they come up short today, losing 62-54, but they still win the program's first postseason game, beating Missouri 5 days ago, and quite an accomplishing season for the Panthers and this historic senior class. 506 games between Witt, King, Mitchell, and Nixon.
I thought we played about 35 minutes of some of the best basketball we played all year. There was probably 5 or 6 minutes throughout the game where we didn't play as poised as I had hoped we might. But we showed a lot of grit at times, and these two young ladies on the sides of me really did a lot of good things. You know, Illinois is a heck of a ball club. They're strong, they're physical, they can make threes, they punch it inside. So it was a tough challenge, and I'm really proud of our group for rising to the challenge. And thought we had them on the ropes there. Just if it had been a 35-minute game, maybe we'd be sitting here talking about the win. But you know, Illinois, congratulations to them, and it's disappointing for us because we lose really 4 quality seniors.
It's been our goal to get here since we've gotten to Eastern. So I mean, to be here and the win over Missouri and then coming in here and competing with some of the best, it's awesome. I mean, it feels good, getting to Eastern, not being able to, not getting a bid to come to the WNIT, and then you're here, numerous of times. It's just, it's
a blessing.
Yeah, it really is. It's fun. It's always a good time, always competing. So, I mean, I've had a wonderful time.